Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Faster Auto Keys and we're going to show you how to go from a worn, used, and damaged Audi key into a brand new looking key with a replacement key shell. We have these replacement key shells for sale on our website. We'll provide a link below in the description. We have these available as an empty case like this where you just transfer the chip from your old key to the new key, and we also have chipped keys as well. The best part is that we're able to provide a cutting service with a photo of your key blade. All you have to do is text a photo of your key blade, something like this, to our tech support number, and we're able to verify if we're able to provide a cutting service. We have provided tons of cutting services by photo. You don't have to drive anywhere with us. You don't have to pay an outrageous service fee. You can have these keys sent to your house with a cutting service, so you can have a brand new cut key at the convenience of your home. This key shell tutorial is relatively easy, and depending on your key, you're going to need a different set of tools. One thing for sure, you're going to need a regular sized flathead screwdriver, and when we take off the cover right here, we're going to find ourselves with 3 screws. Most of the time, you're going to need these Torx screwdrivers. It's like a star-shaped screwdriver. You might not have these. If you ever bought maybe a screen or a home button for an iPhone, you might have been given a set of screwdrivers like these. In that case, you'll probably have the right one, but we're going to remove this cover and see what we need. But in most cases, you're going to need this Torx screwdriver, or you're going to need just a regular sized Phillips head screwdriver and a small one as well. We're going to remove the cover on this key to see what we have, but if yours has the Torx screwdrivers and you do not have an appropriate screwdriver, check out the link below in the description. We'll provide a link to another seller that has them for sale. It will make the job a lot easier, and they are very cheap to buy. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin with the tutorial by removing this cover right here. You're going to see a little spot right here where you can put your regular sized flathead screwdriver and pry it out of its spot. There we go. Now that we have that out, we can pry it from the top. We now have this cover off with the battery. And as we can see in this key in particular, we actually have some Phillips head screwdrivers. I'm going to be using a Phillips head screwdriver for this key. You will know if you have to use a Torx screwdriver by the 2 screws below. It looks like this key shell might have been opened before because this one looks new compared to this one. We're now going to remove the screws, and of course with this case we're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. With all 3 screws removed, you're now ready to open this key into its 2 halves, and this blade is going to unwind itself. Do not worry about it. We're just going to open this key. Here we go. We now have the keyless remote exposed. At this point, we're going to go ahead and pry this remote board out of its spot with a regular flathead screwdriver. This one was very easy to open. Sometimes they're a little stuck. Just find the right spot and it will come out of its spot. You may not know this, but there are actually 2 chips inside of your key. One is this keyless remote, and the second one is a transponder. The transponder is going to be right under this cover, and this is what starts your vehicle. Your vehicle will not start with just a cut blade. The key inside the vehicle needs to have a transponder chip that is programmed to it, or the vehicle is not going to start. For this particular key, the transponder chip is going to be right under this cover. Some keys do not have this cover. It has a transponder chip exposed, which will make it just a little easier for you to remove the chip. This one with a cover, we need to pry the cover out to expose the transponder chip. So with a small flathead screwdriver, look for a spot where you can pry the cover open to expose a chip. With this transponder chip, all you need to do is pry it out of its spot with a flathead screwdriver. There we go. We now have the transponder chip and the keyless remote. This will mean that we're ready to transfer these two chips into the new replacement key shell. We now have the electronic board in place, and once we put the two halves of this key shell together, it's going to fit nicely. For now, let's just leave it the way it is and get the rest of the key ready. If your flip blade mechanism opened while you were going through the key shell like this, just go ahead and place the button back in its spots. It's going to go into the right section, and you're going to know you did it right when the button completely sticks out like this. From here, we're going to place this flip blade mechanism on this half of the key, and what we're going to do is close the key together, and we're going to wind this around so that when you press the button, the flip blade does its job by flicking out. If you take a look at this spring, there is a little section that sticks out, and if you take a look at this half of the key, there is a little opening right here. What you're going to do is align this end of the spring with this section. It will be in place, and you're going to wind it one complete rotation, and you'll have the flip blade mechanism back in place. This will be easier without the panic button on, so we're going to go ahead and align it in place. We're going to give it one complete rotation. There we go. Make sure the board is in place if it moved. Try to get it as close as you can, and right before you close it, go ahead and place the panic button back and you'll be good to go. Alright, the key case is now closed in place. The two halves are together. At this point, we're going to put the screws back in the battery. We now have the screws in place. At this point, you can go ahead and pry the battery out of the old cover, move it into the new cover, and if you're going for a new battery, you'll need a CR2032 battery. There we go. We now have everything back together, and we can verify with the buttons everything works. We have a light on all four of the buttons, and this key in particular will have a cutting service. If you're not going to have a cutting service, all you're going to do is use this arm, the original key arm, instead of the new arm, and from there you'll be good to go. If you have any issues doing that, there's also a pin right here, and there is a pin right here, and if you punch out this pin, you will release the blade, and that will let you switch the blade into the new key, and then you'll be good to go. We now have a brand new looking key with the original transponder chip and keyless remote inside. Once again, we have these available on our store if you're interested, with and without a cutting service, with and without a chip inside, whichever works for you. Again, you can just send us a photo of your key blade and we'll be able to make a copy. You can check out our eBay page. We have a great reputation cutting keys by photo. If you have any questions, you can text our tech support number. Just check out the links below in the description. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you out in your situation and that you have a good one.